Hey guys, welcome back to a new Planet Coaster video. Today is Blueprint Day, so to speak, how you say it. I'm making this town hall, which is gonna be for something that is called Plancoville, which is a little collab project there is in the Channel 5 community, which is super cool, led by Sublimes, and such a cool project. And I thought I would make my contribution with something, and then you went in and you get to pick a plot where you wanted to build, etc. And as you see, this square I have, that's basically the plot I have to build on. So that was a challenge, but I feel like that I managed to do it quite well. But yeah, it's a super cool project, and as I said, I thought I would contribute, since now when I'm a little bit on the low with projects. I mean, I still have projects, don't get me wrong, and I know there's a lot of them that needs to be done, working on it. But despite some variety, sometimes it's quite nice, because some of the projects I know I need to go back to, are, how do you say, I'm not burnt out on them, but it's difficult for me to get into them at this point right now. But I will at some point. I just need to get back into sort of the whole building groove thing, and I feel like with this build I do today that I'm getting there again. And it's because, you know, I took a little bit break from the duo contest, after the duo contest, and after Dania, all that stuff. So this is kind of like the first build I've sort of done after all this stuff here, and I'm quite happy how it looks, and how it ends up looking. You saw a little bit in the cinematics here in the start. But basically what I wanted to try was, I just felt like I wanted to have a town hall that had a tower in the middle, and then I kind of like just took inspiration from real life town halls, no specific town halls or anything, just, you know, all in all, and just try to build my kind of own thing. Since I don't have really a theme, only that it has to be like a city center sort of theme, I thought like some brick texture on the wall, and then these stucco columns and etc. And everything just starting to look better and better the more I add to this build here. And I gotta say, I'm quite happy on the end result here, just on how everything ends up looking. And also because that since I couldn't build further out, because where you see this square here, the panels, the black panels, are pretty much where the guests are supposed to walk, and it also gonna have some sort of a integrated bus stop or something. So I just wanted to build it here, like, so the front of it were kind of clear, and then it wasn't in a way for anything when it has to be placed down into the park itself. And as I say, this will be a blueprint, guys. I made this for this project, but if you guys want it as well, you can go and download it right now, and subscribe to it, and check it out in your own park or whatever you feel like doing with it. It's gonna evolve a few things. It's gonna have a coffee vending machine, information disc, of course, and then ATM. I'm trying to make it in that real aspect of what would you see in a town hall. You'll have information, you'll have like a coffee machine, obviously, and then I took the ATM because sometimes you can you have to get some money to pay, you know, whatever it is, some documents, some passport, whatever it is you have to do on a town hall. So I do also make a lot of interior, because that's kind of like the purpose I wanted to do, since I'm building with like open like glass windows, obviously see-through windows, instead of the okay, that was even better explained. What I'm saying is that I'm using the windows in game, the wall set in game that has the windows, so it's not the ones you just place on top of the building and then you have this window. I do place a few of those, but mainly on the floor level and on the first floor, I'm using these sort of Ghostbuster walls, and then I'm using is it the city wall or city glass door or something? I don't know exactly, but everything looks super cool, especially at night too, when you have the warm light from from the inside of this building shining out of the windows. It looks super, super cool, and I really love that it has this sort of totally different atmosphere at night. So I was, as I say, I didn't really have any inspiration whatsoever. I just looked at a lot of different things whenever I needed it, different town halls and stuff. So as I say, no specific ones. It was just sort of what I felt like I could create here. And I really like the challenge of having this plot to build around on. And I also kind of like took the challenge to myself that I wanted to try use some new pieces. I can't speak. I use the same pieces a lot of this time. So I wanted to, in some way or another, try to use a lot of the new Ghostbusters pieces and some of those Romanesque brick columns and all that kind of stuff. I really wanted to try get in and build something I haven't done before with those pieces. And I really feel like that I managed pretty well. I used a lot of different pieces, especially from the Ghostbusters pack. There's a lot. And it's just super cool to actually be able to go in and build something with some new pieces you haven't used for, and then in some way, actually for you it's new, you know, because I haven't really used them as much. So I'm really happy that I decided to do that, and it makes such a cool atmosphere inside when you see me starting on the interior. But the dome is gonna look a little bit boring here in the start, the top here, because I really didn't know what to add on it in the start. As you can see, I'm trying different things here, but it really didn't work out for me, so I just let it be like this for a little bit. I add a top on it though, but then I'm pretty much leaving it be for a little bit, and then I go back to some other stuff, and yeah, you know, just fiddling around and doing all the stuff that I need to do, and I have and I'm thinking about, there's not going to be so much clutter in this video because it's very modern, very generic, especially also the interior. So it's more of, I don't know, I try to create some sort of a realistic interior with the building. You guys can judge that, of course. Let me know your guys' comments below, what you guys think. I really feel like the build here is super cool, and I'm so happy that I really got into the groove of building like these domes and spires and these just different kind of roofs that I'm not really used to build. After Galatea, it really boosted me and gave me a lot of confidence that I could build sort of these spires and domes. So yeah, you'll definitely be something you'll see a lot more of, because I have a lot of plans of what I wanted to do for future projects. So as you can see here now, I feel like the top was a little bit too high, so I lowered it down a bit. And then here I'm trying to figure out what way I should go for here. Should I have like should I have like the glass doors, or should I try glass? I'm using a lot of different things here. As you can see, I'm struggling a little bit with what kind of pieces that will work well here. I actually made an entire glass panel first, as you can see here, but it just didn't work out for me as the way I wanted it to work out. So I went with these, as you can see here, and then placed them in the middle of the columns. And then already there you can sort of see how the building is going to evolve and how it's going to end up looking. Because I do end up adding a second floor as well. But it's not going to have any of these sort of windows and such. It's just going to have the windows you placed on top of the wall. And then in the interior, there'll still be 2 floors. Yeah, it's I actually super happy on how the interior also ended up looking, and also kind of like I did like an elevator and such, not really built it, but just like the illusion of that there's an elevator here and it goes onto all the floors. And yeah, there's so many things I actually add in this interior here, but we will go back to that when we get to it in the video. There's still a little bit of more stuff to this front here. I'm constantly adding to it. I'm not really satisfied. And I was actually also, my goal with this build was that I wanted to make a nice build, obviously, but I didn't expect to use like almost 3 days on and off. I've also been working and such, but this build has probably taken around the 10 hours or something, over 3 days obviously. But it's just, I thought I could go in, you know, and I didn't have so many expectations to what I would build. I just wanted to go in and start building. So yeah, it's super it's quite nice to see how things change, and the more you add and the more you build, because ideas pop up all the time, you know, when you build this. And I changed so many things on this build as well, because some ideas are just better than others, even though you like the first one, but then you try this and, you know, that piece is better, and it's just super cool, and I'm really liking it. I am gonna give you guys a little bit of music here, and then I will return where I will talk a little bit more of what I am doing, and then just rant a little bit, you know, guys, the good old rant. No, but yeah. Anyways, enjoy, and see you in a bit, guys. Alright guys, that was a little bit of music here to keep you awake. No, I'm kidding. No, but I hope you enjoy the music, and as I said in the previous video, if you like the music, the artist is in the description below. Go check him out, it makes such nice music. So you've seen me do lots of stuff here for the last 10 minutes, and let me explain kind of like what I did. So I said before we started here that I wanted to make some sort of interior, some sort of realistic town hall interior in some way, where you have all these small offices, small rooms where you have people, having people in, having a discussion of etc, etc. That's kind of like how I see a town hall. A town hall is for the people to come and, you know. So I wanted to have this sort of little circle shape for every floor, so you could kind of like see on each floor and kind of like have interior on all of them as well. And I really like the end result of it, to be honest, because it looks super cool, especially also now when you have all of this trim work around, like the entire rail going across the circle. And I just love how it looks, especially also with the wooden bits and stuff. And I'm gonna trim it too, give it more support. And there's so many things I do here, guys, in this build here. And as I say, I was getting in the groove. I was really feeling it. And I could probably finish off the building and add tons of more stuff to it. But the build kind of ended up on 3,300 pieces. And I know for a fact that you really should try keep it on a low. And I know that I really didn't do this here, but as I say, I really wanted to build something amazing and something that stands out. And I can only do that with this amount of pieces. I cannot build something like this with 1,000 pieces, even though it's good for the frames for a big project like that. But it's just not gonna happen. And if you ask me to help, then that's what you're gonna get. But as you guys can see here in the back side here, I'm adding a wall here, so you only have a few windows. And I gotta say, as soon as you see the windows and like the atmosphere inside from the exterior through the windows, it looks so amazing and I love it. So here I'm making like a little seating area for when people are waiting for get into their meetings or in their rooms. And then I do that on every single floor. I kind of make every floor different, but the first floor here is mainly the one that's gonna get the most detail, because this is where people are gonna roam. They're not gonna be able to walk on the first and second floor. That's mainly for the deco part, you know. So quite happy about that. Putting up a monitor as well here, cable, making it look realistic, and then I use one of those 4 videos that got into the game and kind of like just make it feel like there's a TV going on. And I'm really happy how this entire front room ends up looking. It's super cool. And I just, as I said, I just couldn't stop adding stuff to this until I came to that end that, okay, now we're starting to not have so many pieces left. And I'm actually at that point where I was like, is it worth adding more stuff, and what should I add? So you'll see like me adding less stuff on the first and second floor. I also skipped a lot of it, so you don't really see it. It's mainly the first floor deco you'll see me do here, and not so much the other things. But as you can see, I'm covering up the wall from the inside here with the windows, kind of like turning them around so I get this kind of like stucco sort of texture. And it's really nice, especially when you have 2 different wall sets. You have this on the outside, and then when you go in, you have this sort of covered up wall with a different color scheme, and I'm really liking that. So the 2 offices I'm making down here is pretty much sort of the same. They're not so different. Pretty much all the offices I have is pretty much the same. I just pretty much changed the color of the avatar, the animatronic. So that's pretty much how that works. And as you can see, I'm starting to make it look like an office here, and I'm really liking. And I'm actually making a little keyboard, but I'm using the vents of the facade from the Ghostbusters pack to build that. You'll see that, and I actually find that super cool that I could use those for this sort of thing. Like, who would ever use that for a keyboard? And I'm really liking it. Some little bit more trim pieces here, trying to make it look nice. And you can see I started the support with the trim on the roof here, which I'm also gonna continue in the hall and on the first floor and etc. I'm trying different things all the time, you know, and everything just works when it comes to this. You can see doing the trim work here and make it fit to the circle I did with the trim works. So everything just goes hand in hand together here. So yeah, I feel like this build works very well for pretty much each park or every park you want to make. And as I said in the start too, I didn't really have any I didn't try to recreate anything. I looked at pictures and I was like, okay, a town hall has this, it has a tower, it has a clock, and it has a nice themed interior. So that's pretty much what I thought about this build here. And I feel like the color scheme I went with is also kind of generic, and it works well with this, and I'm super happy for that. So we're going to the office here. So I'm making like this monitor, and then I'm putting like a little buzzer, you know, like he can see you now, or when they have to shout like number 32, get into room 4, whatever. I don't know, but stuff like that, you know, it would be really cool. So here's the keyboard I'm doing, and I really feel like there's a smart way of making it. Very, very cool. So adding just a little bit of background to the monitor to make it feel like something is happening. And then I am using some pieces for the Back to the Future pack. I know it's not a lot of pieces I use, but I just use one piece and making like a little computer of it. And we are 4 years into the game now. So if you don't have this pack, then it's your problem. It's like $3. So I'm using this, as you can see, I'm using it for a desktop. Pretty much like a computer on the back there, and putting some wires and stuff. I don't know why I put so much detail into this, as I said. But when you are in the groove and you have ideas, you're just doing them, you know, and that's kind of like how it's supposed to be. So almost done with the office here. I think the last part I'm doing is that I'm adding these curtains, and that's gonna make it look super cool. That's like the tip of the iceberg here into the office room, and I'm really liking it. We are slowly moving towards the end of the video. As you saw in the or earlier, that I did these elevators here, put them on each floor. And as I say, I didn't do anything behind them. It's just the illusion of there's an elevator here and you can take it on the first and second floor. And all things kind of make sense now too, because I didn't do a stairway at first. I didn't really think about how could they even get on first floor. So I had to find a way to do that. So I made the elevator and just put like 2 nuts on it, so it feels like you can press it and get it down to the first floor. So yeah, that's pretty much how it is, guys. Of course, I, as usual, have some cinematics in the back here or at the end of the video, and I'm also doing some nighttime lighting, which is some of the best nighttime lighting I've done on a building. It looks so beautiful. Really liking that, and especially is the effect that you get from having to see through the windows to see inside the building as well. You get this warm atmosphere, you know, and you want to check it out, even though it's a freaking town hall, but it makes you interested. And I'm really think that that's a big factor, that you're making the facade, like the front, very warming, inviting, welcoming, make people get in there, you know, and I'm just super stoked about everything. And you see I'm on the first floor now, where I'm just doing the last bits as well. And as I say, these Romanesque columns are so freaking good. I've always wanted to use them, but I just never find a good build to use them in. And this build, they work perfectly, especially also with the Ghostbusters pieces and so on. I'm really happy for this build, as I said, guys. I know I mentioned it a few times, but it's just nice to get something built with pieces you haven't really built with before. And I really feel like here it comes very hand in hand, if you ask me. So just doing the last bits here, guys, just polishing it up until I feel like it's finished. I'm not really recording anything else besides like the offices, because it's mainly just duplication. And then it's just polishing the last bits here. I thought I would keep something out of the video, because I didn't want it to make super long, even though it's already half an hour now. But it was way longer, guys, trust me. There are so many things I cut out of this video, which I didn't really feel would maybe be super interested for you guys. So here we are on the second or the last level, which really don't have any windows. So making the interior up here wasn't really necessary, but I felt like it needed it. It just didn't look well in my eyes if it was just super plain up here. So that's also the one thing I've done, just putting some chairs, making it, just as I said, making it feel like a waiting room, so to speak, and you get up here to wait to get into a conversation. I wanted to have some more signs, you know, like speakers and stuff in here, but it's not really necessary in that way, because I really feel like I got what I wanted out of this build, even more. I got a blueprint too, a beautiful blueprint, and I get to be part of the Plancoville park, made my contribution here, and I'm very happy of the end result. Last things, guys, we are doing the nighttime lighting here, just finishing off, and afterwards I am showing you guys some cinematics, and then the build is done. And as I said, leave your comments down below, guys, if you have anything you want to share. I always love to hear them, and also if you like the blueprint and you want to check it out for yourselves or want it in your park, the link is also in the description below. And if you feel like this is a cool project and you want to listen more of it, you should join the Channel 5 community, where there's a lot of stuff in there too. Or you can also join my own Nexus, where we have lots of stuff going on as well. A busy community with a busy voice chat. So yeah, there are some options for you there for what to choose. But anyways, guys, we're at the end now. Placing an animatronic guy here to make this hallway look a little bit more alive, and lighting up the last part here too. So everything just works so well, guys. The only thing I actually do end up adding at the end is something for the dome itself. I am doing a little bit of stuff to the dome, as you can see here now. That is the last part you will see me do, and then we will finish and go to the end of the video. So yeah, I'm really happy, guys, of how this ended up looking, as I said, and just doing some backstage stuff here as well, putting some ventilations up, and then I am doing a little bit more trim on the dome here to make it pop a little bit more up. And I'm so happy that I ended up doing this, because it really helped a lot on. It actually looks way better now with this trim work up here. So I'm happy I decided to do that, and it just makes it look way better. So guys, leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think. Go check out the blueprint and just stay awesome, guys. Stay safe. And I hope you all have an amazing day and weekend. And I'll see you in my next video. Enjoy the cinematics, guys. See ya!